Welcome to this very regular knitting vlog about what I've been knitting for the last 6 months or so, and just a bit about my intentions for the year to come, 2026. So for the past 6 months I haven't been knitting that much because we moved and we renovated a bit, and it's just taken up a lot of energy away from knitting. But I did get some stuff done. If you remember, I went to the Faroe Islands and I bought some of that plaid dyed yarn, and I planned on knitting this sweater, which I now can't remember what it was called. I'll write it somewhere. Anyway, now I'm weaving in the ends, the hundreds of ends. I ended up incorporating quite a bit of leftover yarn as well. This isn't an Isager project, this was just a project that came in kind of sideways because I really liked the pattern. And I managed to incorporate a lot of my also smaller bits of yarn stash. Some of, those leftovers where you just have one ball or half a ball of yarn, or even just not one ball, it's quite much, but just, just bits of yarn. So this green color, for instance, comes from 3 different skeins. So they aren't exactly the same color, but almost. You wouldn't notice that much. And the sleeves don't have the exact same colors as the body, but I mean, you can kind of tell the sleeve is these color works are mostly green, where this also has some brown in it, dark brown, and then I ran out of the dark brown and just decided to add something else. The sleeves are symmetrical, or they're the same. I debated whether I should do two different sleeves, but decided against it because there's so much going on this sweater already. I've tried it on many times and I really like the fit, and I decided to do this neckline instead of, it just had a regular crew neck, and I decided to do a bit of a higher neck. I don't know. I thought it looked even better. Anyway, I can really recommend knitting Fair Isle or color work with leftover yarn and just figuring out the way, as you go. I thought it was really, really fun to do. It was a really fun project, actually. I would definitely knit this again, but it took quite a long time to do. And then after that one, I just wanted to do a quick vest for my kid, which I usually avoid those types of yarn that change color, because I don't like how when you knit back and forth it looks one way, and then when you start knitting in the round it looks different. But I know I saw someone, I saw it in a store window or something. Someone had used this yarn, and I thought it looked really, really cute for a kid. And I'm kind of happy with what it looks like up here, even though this doesn't look the same as this. It's okay, I think. It's okay. It still looks alright. And I tried to find parts of the yarn that both had some green in it, so it wouldn't be too different. And then obviously the back is kind of the same all the way down, for this piece, and then changes here. I don't know, maybe it's just me that wonders about this. I see a lot of people knitting in this type of yarn, but anyway, yeah. This was just a quick impro project. Yeah. And then after that one, I still had quite a few leftovers from this project and some more blues. And then I'd also gotten some plant-dyed yarn at the what's it called? It's a knitting festival, a Danish knitting festival in the countryside. I bought some plant-dyed yarns and decided to just do another improvised vest with this is a Norwegian pattern from a book I got for Christmas. Is a Selbu pattern. They resemble the Fair Isle patterns quite a lot. Yeah, this one has, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find. Oh, I did a little. Yeah, so I just used this pattern for the vest. It is apparently like, I don't know why, but it's knitted like vertically. Anyway, it's knitted this way down, and I decided to use the pattern the other way around, so kind of just flipping it and knitting it from this side instead of this. I just did it because it would be fun and I would be able to do even more improvised color work than with my own sweater. So I just switched up the colors all the time. Whenever I didn't have any more left, or there's really no system here. It was just testing out colors and picking out colors as I went. So it has ended up, I feel like there's one theme going on down here, if you fold it, with the like butter yellow and blue and white. And then here, I don't know, it's like a dark foresty theme, and then it gets more blue and yellow, like a more clear yellow. And I just need to sew in the last few ends. Like obviously it had a lot of these that I needed to weave in. Every time I finish a colorwork pattern, I'm always like, why didn't I weave it in during? Like why? But I don't know, it doesn't take that long. It's always more of a job in my head than it actually is in reality. Anyway, this was fun to do. I can really recommend that. Just picking some colorwork that you like and just do a little sample measure and then just go from there. When I started it out, it became way too big, so I had to frog it and start over. But yeah, it turned out quite nice, and I would say my kid is like medium positive, so maybe he will put it on. And then I just want to talk about my intentions for 2026 for a minute or two. So I'm still working on my Isager book, and I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos. There's this body that I finished, and it needs sleeves. So I think that's next up on my knitting to-do list. And then I've also found myself, I did design a few patterns some years ago for my own Ravelry store and for that magazine, Lane, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, I found myself like wanting to do a pattern again because it's actually quite fun. It can be quite fun. If you remember the kind of chunky yarn that I bought in, obviously you don't remember, but I got some quite chunky yarn in the Faroe Islands, And I think I'm gonna do a cable knit. I don't know if you can see this, I don't know. I'll put in a photo of it maybe, but I think I'm gonna do a cable knit that only has cables on the chest kind of and on the back with a rolled neck, kind of oversized, I don't know. I'll definitely knit one for myself and then I'll see if it's worthy of becoming a pattern, I guess. And then I also thought, just because sometimes it's nice to, I don't know, it just gives me joy to put work out into the world and see other people get joy from the work that I put out. It makes me really happy. And so I also thought about doing like a little like collection, that's a big word, but a few of these kids projects that I do. Because they are small, I always find that I can do them like this one. I would never do a project like this for me because it's so small, it's really fun to do, and it's like overseeable. Anyway, so I thought of doing like maybe 4 or 5 patterns for kids, younger kids. Anyway, yeah, so there's obviously way too much to do. And maybe, I think I'll probably do some of it simultaneously, because when you do a pattern, it's usually a lot of back and forth, and it takes way more time to get somewhere than it does when you just knit someone else's pattern. So I think I'll finish this simultaneously with making or beginning the cable knit pattern, and then the next one up in the Isager book is the one with the, I think it's alpacas that are on it. I think that's the plan for now, for 2026. Anyway, if you have any whatever knitting recommendations, they would be really appreciated in this dark January. It's been so dark and snowy here. So any entertainment that's related to knitting is always welcome. Bye.